What's going on, fam? We hard on the yard. Out with that boy, Bo Jackson, American Bully, standard American Bully. Today we talking about deworming, man. If you would take a second, hit that subscribe button for me, hit that like button for me. Let's keep the content pushing, man. It would help me out a whole lot. But today I want to talk about deworming. We did a video a couple of days ago about if your pup is too skinny, what you should do right now. And a big part of that was deworming, because you can't build the dog without getting rid of all the parasites that's bogging it down. So the first thing we talked about was deworming. So I want to talk to, then I had a guy sent me a comment. So this is really in response to a guy's comment about how often should you deworm your dog. Hold on a second. And it depends on a few factors. It depends on the age of the dog. It depends on the environment of the dog, activity of the dog, and the lifestyle of the dog. I guess activity and lifestyle is the same thing. Meaning how active your dog is to getting exposed to parasites. My dog, Domino, is different than all my other dogs because he likes to put his feet in the water trough and splash his water around. So that keeps him germier than the rest of the pups. So for him, it's an environmental thing that makes him have to be wormed a little bit more than the rest of them. Leave that alone. Leave that alone. So with pups, here's the schedule is. Here's the schedule if you want to deworm your dog, keep your dog healthy, happy and everything. Here is the schedule. For pups, you're supposed to worm every week to 2 weeks for the first 12 weeks. So you might as well get you some kind of liquid dewormer that you can use and a syringe. It won't take a lot. For me, when we go in to get the 6-week checkup at the vet and get the parvo shot started and all that, we get the dewormer then, and it's got a little syringe and it keeps you up to date, gives you enough to get the litter all the way through. After that, you need to do it about every month until they're 6 months old. So every 1 to 2 weeks until they're 12 weeks old, and then every month until they're 6 months old. After they're 6 months old, they can be put on a adult worming schedule. Come on, boy. We're trying to stay in this shade. After the 6 months, they can be put on an adult worming schedule. And an adult worming schedule is every 3 to 6 months. Like I say, depending on the activity and lifestyle of the dog, where it's situated at. If you got him in a little kennel and he don't have you're not cleaning the kennel out enough, all that type of stuff leads to more germs than you're supposed to have. You're gonna have to do it more than normal to keep him healthy. So you want to keep the kennels and all that stuff clean and healthy. A reason that I can wait to get to that 6 weeks checkup for the vet is because I've done so much with the mom in deworming her. So that passes on to the pups when she does the whelping. So for pregnant moms, you want to deworm them before they get bred, and you want to deworm them about 40 days into it, or so 45 days, be sure. And when I do it with my mothers, I don't do chemicals. I do some kind of a natural dewormer. Some people won't even do it while the mother is nursing, because whatever you do with the mother passes on to the pups. If you decide not to do it, if you missed it before she got bred, which you shouldn't do, before you do the breeding, worm her. Get her shots up to date, all that stuff. If you do that, the pups will be a lot healthier when they come out to begin with. But 45 days, you back being safe to deworm her again. About 45 days, because she can pass all that stuff on to the pups. Now, that does begin to be expensive when you have a camp. So how do you do it the most inexpensive way and the safest way? Because it's a lot of deworming. We're talking about 1 to 2 weeks for the first 12 weeks of the pup's life. Then we're talking about every month until they're 6 months old. So that's another 3 months. And then we're talking every 3 to 6 months as an adult. So for me, I got a secret. And I'll tell you this secret. Shout out to Eddie Buckalow, Badass Bully Kennels. He told me this secret a long time ago. Sometimes people give you game, and it's so much game that you can't really comprehend it at the start. Let's go over to the bully house, man. I want to go get Black Widow out. Eddie Buckaloo gave me the game early on this deworming, and I just didn't know exactly what he was saying because I didn't know how much it was going to be involved in it. But he told me pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds paralyze the worms, and then the dog can pass them out. Not just for dogs, but for people too. So try to incorporate, but leave her alone. So you try to incorporate some pumpkin seeds. Come on. It's the first time since they've been bred that they've been together. Come on, Roxy. Roxy, inside. That's the first time they've been together since they've been bred. We're gonna leave that alone. Not on camera. Not on camera. Come on. But a good natural remedy for deworming, I hope you heard me, is pumpkin seeds. Walk around. It is hot out here today. Let's walk back over here to the puppy palace. We'll check on Domino now. The search now, but the pumpkin seed paralyzes some kind of enzyme in that pumpkin seed that paralyzes worms. So you want to give them pumpkin seed in the feed. And like I say, for adult dogs, it's every 3 to 6 months that you have to worm them. But if you can just keep some of those pumpkin seeds around, you can kind of just keep putting that in their food. It's all natural. It ain't going to hurt them. It's not like giving them a chemical every 6 months. It's something that's going to help them regardless. So for me, having a camp of 10 bullies at all times, the best remedy, come on, best natural remedy for me is pumpkin seed. Now, when the pups are first born, I can't give them that. Come on, let's go over here and shade. Come on, let's go in the shade. Woo! When the pups is first born, I can't give them the seeds. They can't eat it yet. So that's why I do some liquid dewormer and stuff like that for my pups. And that's what the vet's gonna give you. She's gonna give you a liquid dewormer and a syringe. So for the pups, that's what I gotta do. But for the adults, as soon as they can really get some good mush, I'll put it in their raw, I'll put it in their kibble, and just shell and all, just let them eat it. You want to help them digest it a little easier, you can just buy the kernels and put the kernels in there. It doesn't take a lot, and it's not gonna, they can't overdose on it. It's natural. You want to kill them. So with that, we get all the parasites out of the dog. However you decide to do the deworming, whether you do it naturally or whether you decide to do the deworming naturally, or if you want to do it with chemical dewormers that you can buy from the store, Either way, you have to get it done. And you have to keep your dog dewormed in order to get the most out of it. The size that it should be, it needs to be dewormed often. And like I said, if you got a house dog, like I said on the other video was if your puppy's too skinny, do this now. And on that, I said if you had a house dog about every 6 months, unless you're just really out getting into something. But it's not going to hurt every 3 to 6 months to deworm it. What does that do? That helps you with the nutrients. You can buy $100 bag of dog food. It ain't gonna put no weight on him if he's full of worms. So you got to get the parasites out first, and then you can build a dog. It's that boy Bo. We've been on the raw for a while here, so it was good for me. I had to get back and just, it was a time for me to worm everybody. So we're gonna do that again. This is the end of the summer, so we're gonna do it again now. I'm gonna deworm everybody again. We're gonna put a little bit more weight on them for this winter time. Wintertime, you want more weight on your dogs. So that's what I'm. If you're watching this video, this is the end of August. This is about the time. Go ahead and deworm them now. Then you'll be good until the holidays at least. But you can, if you deworm them now, you can start to gaining weight for the winter time. Right now, my dogs are still toned up for the summer, but they need a little bit more weight on them for this winter cold. So that's why I deworm at the end of the summer. Deworm at the beginning of the summer, deworm at the end of the summer. And it cuts down on a bunch of other stuff too. The diet of the dog is going to cut down on a bunch of stuff. There's been a outbreak of fleas in this whole little town that I live in. Everybody's been telling me about fleas and ticks, but I have had no problem, and I have not used droplets. And my dogs jump in the car with me. They're in the house with me. They walk around with me. We're together. They have no fleas or ticks on them. So I know it's got to have something to do with the raw diet I'm putting in there. I'm giving them some kibble too, but the amount of raw diet I'm giving them is keeping the blood acidic enough that they don't have ticks and fleas now. So there's a lot of good natural remedies that you can use. See, we got watermelon. My dogs love watermelon. I try not to let them get the rind, but the watermelon part, they're gonna eat that to death. Watermelon, papaya, different fruits I can find. Keep them good. See, yeah, he'll eat some grass every once in a while. They got a raw diet, so they gotta eat stuff like that to keep them digesting everything good. But that's the schedule. If you want to deworm your dog, want to keep your dog healthy, that's the schedule. For pups, for newborn pups, 1 to 2, once every 1 to 2 weeks until they're 12 weeks old. After that, every month until they're 6 months old. Puppies get very wormy. It's the milk that we're giving them. It's the foods that we're giving them. I'm giving my dogs goat milk, all that stuff. They're pooping where they're sitting. It's different things like that you got to keep the pups dewormed. They don't know how not to step in the water yet, so they step in the poop, then they step in the water, they step in the poop, then they step in the milk. They don't know how not to do that yet. So you got to keep them dewormed. They'll be nice and fluffy when you get them, and then you get home, and then about a month later, they don't look as good. They're not as progressing as good. You need to deworm them again. So 1 to 2 weeks for the first 12 weeks, and then once a month for the first 6 months. After that, they can be put on adult worming schedule. An adult worming schedule is every 3 to 6 months, worm your dog, depending on the activity of your dog and where it's at, where it's situated. Every 3 to 6 months, this boy got me all in the woods. Every 3 to 6 months, stop and worm. Every 3 to 6 months, stops and worm your dogs. Now, lastly, I'll tell you this part of it. That's just the schedule. You got to watch your dogs. Like I knew Domino was getting skinnier than he was supposed to be. He's a lot better looking dog than that. So I had to worm him, get back to square one, and then add something to it. So you have to pay attention to your dog's health. You have to pay attention to the poop. Everybody's poop should be solid, not mushy and all that. You have to, how much grass are they trying to eat? Is it just like normal like everybody else, or is it a whole lot? It's different stuff like that will show you a digestive problem, and most of the time that's a parasite. Pumpkin seeds ain't gonna hurt. So do your own research. Some people don't like pumpkin seeds. Do your own research. But what I do with this camp, that's what I'm doing. Let's see what this boy went to. He got out, but he'd rather be all in the woods. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, boy. I don't want to go up there. You got to do what you got to do to keep your dogs healthy, man. But we got pups on the way in 2 weeks. Let's go over here and look at Black Pearl. We got pups on the way within the next 2 weeks from Black Pearl. And then 2 weeks after that, we got pups on the way with Roxy. From Roxy and Bo Jackson here. You're about to get another chance to come on off the bench and get you something hard cut. That boy King Creed over there. Come on. We're going to head over here to the puppy palace. Check her out. www.hardcutbully.com, man. Hit that like button, man. If you've been here this long, hit the like button for me. It sure will help us out. But we got some pups on the way from them, from these two. 2 weeks from here. I tried to put her in the house with Roxy, but she just don't like being in the house like that. She's more running around type of dog. That is Black Pearl. She is a daughter of Bo Jackson here. And this is a grandson of Bo Jackson. He's King Creed's son, grandson of Bo Jackson. Well, anyway, if you ain't did it by now, man, come on out the bench for the big win and get you something hard cut. That's all.